Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Friday Fabric Finds for the week of August 28th, 2026, and without further ado, let's get started.
So the first thing we're going to talk about today is something we've talked about in the past, but we've recently restocked. That's right, it's Coca-Cola Christmas from Northcott. As I mentioned, this collection was very recently restocked, and with it we've got the Checking It Twice quilt kit, as well as assorted yardage. The patterns on this one are Santa Claus, Coca-Cola bottles, logos, stripes, greetings, and dots in Christmas colors of red, green, along with some white, brown, and cream. So if you remember those classic Coca-Cola Christmas ads and all of that wonderful stuff that we all grew up with, 'tis the season to be jolly with a Coca-Cola Christmas.
Next collection we have is a very cute one for your little ones. This is Nursery Rhyme Time from Blank Quilting. This is featuring 36-inch book panels, 24-inch growth chart panels, as well as the assorted yardage. We have patterns of sheep, stars, Humpty Dumpty, clocks, moons, pat a cake, music notes, cats, dogs, and florals in colors of yellow, orange, green, blue, pink, cream, and gray. If you're wanting a collection, like I said, for your little ones, watch your fabric stash grow with Nursery Rhyme Time.
So the next collection we're going to talk about today is going to be Reeled In from Wilmington. For this one, we've got 2 different pillowcase kits as well as assorted yardage. With this collection, you've got patterns like fish, scenic lakes, fishing lures, sky texture, and plaid in colors of blue, green, cream, and white. So if you're looking for something for the fishermen in your life, make a quilt that hooks you with Reeled In.
I'm going to make sure I pronounce this one correctly this time. This is Coven from Moda. This is featuring fat quarter plus panel bundles, layer cakes, 24-inch panels, the Pasadena Roses quilt kit, as well as the assorted yardage. We got patterns of roses, haunted homes, pumpkins, medallion tiles, webs, witch hats, and thorny stripes in colors of blue, orange, and black. If you're a fan of the spooky, brew up some magic with Coven.
The next thing we want to mention today is our Quilting Fabric Treasure Hunt Remnants. This is a section with different remnants that's filled with leftover yardage, end of bulk cuts, and one-of-a-kind fabric pieces. All kinds of prints, colors, and sizes, and most of them have been marked down. You'll never know what you're going to find with that. The inventory changes regularly, and once a remnant is gone, it is gone. So get a piece of the action with our Quilting Fabric Remnants.
A collection we do not want you to miss because it is almost gone. This is Haunted Acre Wood from Studio E. This is a Winnie the Pooh themed collection. This is featuring the assorted yardage, which, like I said, is almost gone. Make sure you go check it out before it is. We've got patterns of bears, candy piglets, checks, costume crews, leaves, pumpkins, ghosts, and witches in colors of orange, purple, gray, green, and black. So, if you're a fan of the spooky as well as Winnie the Pooh, make an unbearably spooky project with Haunted Acre Wood.
Alright, as always, it's time for Comment of the Week. As you may know, we like to pull comments from last week's episode to read on this week's episode. And the first comment we've got today is from Libby McLeod, who says, "Good morning. I love the Christmas Magic line." Well, good morning to you as well, and we're glad you love the Christmas Magic line. There are elements of it that I really like too. There are pieces of it that kind of seem a little bit more antique, kind of like a, old Sears, like it was almost like someone painted on an old Sears catalog with the backgrounds being kind of like having the text and stuff on it.
Yeah.
I like that look a lot. But thank you so much for your comment, and we hope to see you comment on this episode too.
The next comment we have is from Barbara H, who says, "Another fun video. Love the Christmas Magic collection." It's funny because Libby just said that. Your puns remind me of dad jokes. Have a great weekend. As always, Barbara, thank you so much for leaving comments. We always love seeing a comment from you. Thank you for always enjoying the videos, always thinking they're fun. We love making them, and as long as you guys keep enjoying them, we're going to keep making them. Yeah, we, like Clint said, and like Libby said, we also love the Christmas Magic collection. And thank you so much for loving my dad jokes. It's just a fun way to make the videos more fun. I could make boring little call to actions, but, I prefer making the fun puns and what have you. I hope you have a great weekend as well, Barbara.
Next comment we're going to highlight today is from Sonja Mater 9171, who says, "Good morning. Great video. I especially enjoyed the close-ups of the fabric bundle. Glad you guys make these videos. See you next week." Well, good morning. Thank you for saying the video was great. I thought last week's was pretty good myself. Yeah, Justin does a pretty good job after the feedback. He's done a pretty good job of getting a better view of some of these fabrics and some of these bundles. It's definitely helped out the videos a lot.
Thank you whoever suggested getting showing the fabric bundles more spread out. I used to not do that, but it's been fun to do.
Well, hopefully you love this video as much as last week's, and we hope to see you on the next one too.
Last but certainly not least, we got Margaret Lavinia, who says, I love the puns, Justin. It's nice to have some humor in our days. That's exactly what I was saying with Barbara's comment. Great fabrics to choose from. Do you normally get all the prints from a fabric line, or just pick a few? One of my local fabric stores gets pre-cuts and then doesn't get any of the fabric lines, so it's hard to complete a project if you like the fabric line. Looking forward to next show. Well, Margaret, this is actually a really interesting question. This is kind of getting into the weeds of, our boss having rep meetings with manufacturers. She's actually, funny enough, having one literally right now. So Jody, our boss, she'll do rep meetings, and in those meetings, she kind of decides, what from those fabric or collections she gets. And so sometimes it's the entire collection, but kind of more recently, we've been, picking more specific fabric from that line, but we definitely still are getting yardage from all the collections. Like you said, that fabric store that you were talking about, apparently they only get pre-cuts. And like you said, that makes it very difficult to complete a project. So we're going to continue getting yardage from collections, so you guys are able to get that from the bolt. You can get how many yards you want.
Well, it's project based.
It's project based, exactly.
So when we're looking at these collections, there'll be a quilt kit or something in there that we will see that looks good, that we think would be great, and then we'll get the coordinating fabrics in order to make however many of those kits that we decide that we want to make. And then there's often fabric left over from that because you have to buy in certain quantities. But then also I know Jody will look at the collection and there will be other prints that aren't necessarily in the kit, but that she, because she's got a lot of experience and knowledge in this, knows would be great fabrics to go with the kit as additional yardage in case someone wants backing or in case they want to use those fabrics for something else.
There's a whole thing behind the scenes that goes into that. Thank you so much, Margaret, for leaving a comment. And we hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we hope to see you back next week.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us this week at Fort Worth Fabric Studio. As always, we would like to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that little bell for notifications. Leave a comment. You might be featured on Comment of the Week next week. And follow us on all of our social media. The links are going to be down in the description. We'll see you next week.